As election results start rolling in Pakistan, the latest results show a close fight between the three main parties, with PTI-backed independent candidates neck and neck with Bilawal Bhutto's PPP both at 24 seats each. Nawaz Sharif's PMLN stands at 18 seats so far. Individually, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari won the NA 196 seat in Khambar Shahadat Court with 85,370 votes, while Nawaz Sharif also won his Lahore NA 130 seat. Election results have only been trickling in at a rather slow pace, triggering allegations that the Election Commission is allowing manipulation of votes. In the early hours of Friday morning, an Israeli airstrike in Rafah has killed at least 13 people. Those among the killed include 5 children and 2 women. The airstrike targeted a residential building near the Kuwaiti hospital in Rafah city. The Israeli strikes comes as more than half of Gaza's population of 2.3 million people have been driven into Rafah and its surrounding areas by nearby conflict. The United States issued a stern warning on Thursday, cautioning against any potential Israeli military action in Rafah, where over 1 million individuals have sought shelter. The United States labeled such an operation as a potential disaster if undertaken without thorough planning. Deputy spokesperson for the State Department, Vedant Patel, emphasized the necessity for serious and credible planning before any action in Rafah. Patel stated that this planning should prioritize the safety of the large population seeking refuge and consider the impact on humanitarian aid efforts, despite U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's recent meeting with Israel's war cabinet. Patel indicated a lack of evidence suggesting Israel had not engaged in sufficient planning for such an operation. US President Joe Biden expressed satisfaction with the special counsel's investigation into the handling of his classified documents. He highlighted a difference in his response compared to Donald Trump's. Biden noted that he cooperated fully, returning the documents, whereas Trump allegedly did the opposite. Special counsel Robert Hare concluded his 15-month investigation without pursuing criminal charges, citing Biden's cooperation and the difficulty of securing a conviction. This outcome spares Biden, in contrast to Trump, from the threat of imprisonment over mishandling the sensitive documents. However, it may pose challenges for Biden, 81, as he seeks re-election, potentially fueling concerns about his age and contrasting his efforts to Trump's on matter of personal integrity and national security. US President Joe Biden has criticized the special counsel Robert Hare for questioning his recollection of his son's death. He declared that it wasn't his damn business and that his memory was just fine. Biden's remarks were made in response to the counsel's report that followed a 15-month investigation for improperly handling classified documents. Biden was found not guilty. Hare's 388-page report highlighted a range of topics, including references to Biden's memory and powers of recollection. Trump emerged victorious in Nevada's Republican presidential caucuses. as the sole major contender. Former UN ambassador Nikki Haley opted out of the caucuses, alleging an unjust process favoring Trump. Instead, she ran in Nevada's symbolic state-run presidential primary on Tuesday when she finished behind the none of these candidates option. Trump's triumph in Nevada secures him all 26 of state delegates, edging him closer to the necessary 1,215 delegates for the official nomination. A $95.34 billion bill encompassing aid for Ukraine, Israel and Taiwan advanced in the U.S. Senate following Republicans' obstruction of the immigration policy reform. The procedural motion garnered 67-32 votes, surpassing the 60-vote threshold required for advancement of the bill. 17 Republicans unexpectedly supported the motion, marking a significant shift after their previous blockade on the 7th of February. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer emphasized the bill's importance for national security, adding Ukraine, Israel, Gaza civilians and Taiwan. Final passage timing remains uncertain, with senators prepared to extend sessions into the weekend if needed. Schumer reaffirmed the commitment to continue working until the bill is successfully passed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky emphasized the urgent need for reform within the Ukrainian army, stressing the necessity for a fresh approach to mobilization and recruitment. Despite demonstrating capability in reclaiming airspace, the Ukrainian forces fell short of their objectives on the ground in 2023. In response, Zelensky appointed Colonel General Alexander Syrsky as the new leader of the armed forces. Syrsky, previously commanding the ground forces, steps into his new role amidst significant uncertainty. This is compounded by delays in crucial military aid from the United States due to political discord. According to reports, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu stated that Russian forces triumphed in numerous Ukrainian battlegrounds and called for intensified reconnaissance efforts. The reports reflected Shoigu's remarks during a meeting with the leaders of the West Army Group. He was accompanied by General Staff Chief Valery Gerasimov. Malaysia's highest court invalidated more than a dozen Sharia state laws, citing their infringement on federal authority. The ruling, which struck down 16 laws enacted by the opposition-led Kelantan state government, encompassed regulations ranging from sodomy and sexual harassment to incest and cross-dressing. The federal court panel, voting 8-1, emphasized that these matters fell under the purview of Malaysian federal law. This elicited concerns from some Muslims who feared potential repercussions for religious courts in the country. The inaugural edition of Sadar Tansik, a joint military exercise between Indian and Saudi Arabian armed forces, took place on Thursday in western Rajasthan state. Approximately 45 personnel from both armies participated in the exercise aimed at enhancing coordination and interoperability between the two forces. According to officials, the officials stressed the importance of understanding each other's capabilities and battle procedures, highlighting that such joint exercises prepare them for future joint operations. The Indian and Royal Saudi Army conducted various combat and action drills in Bikaner town during the exercise. The two-day military exercise is scheduled to conclude on Saturday. Two people died and 250 were injured in Uttarakhand's Haldwani amid turmoil ignited by the demolition of an unauthorized madrasa and an adjoining mosque. The city is placed under curfew with a shoot-at-sight order against rioters and the complete shutdown of internet services. Tensions peaked when government officials, accompanied by police, attempted to dismantle the structures following a court order. Despite their illegal status, the madrasa and mosque faced staunch opposition from residents in the Vanbulpura area. Initially reported as 4 casualties, the district magistrate later revised the death toll to 2. On Sunday, Finland will elect its next head of state from 2 seasoned politicians tasked with overseeing Finland's foreign and security policies, particularly in light of its recent NATO membership post Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Former Prime Minister Alexander Stubb, representing the centre-right, and ex-Foreign Minister Pekka Haavisto from the Green Left share similar views on Finland's foreign policy. They both have been emphasizing on a tough stance towards Moscow, bolstering ties with Washington and supporting Ukraine both military and economically. While their overall agendas align, nuances in their approaches have surfaced during the final days of campaigning. One notable difference lies in their stance on the potential transit of NATO's nuclear weapons through Finland, a newcomer to the alliance. To meet booming travel demand during this year's Spring Festival, Travel Rush China Railway has improved its railway operating plan and increased transport capacity. On Thursday, passengers crowded various areas, including the waiting hall, security checkpoint, ticket entrance, and aisles of the Shanghai Hongqiao railway station, fueled by both returning home and leisure travel. Shanghai railway station has seen over 600,000 passengers for 3 consecutive days, with an anticipated 30% increase compared to 2019, reaching 650,000 passengers on Thursday. Hongqiao railway station is expected to handle 398,000 passengers, potentially setting a new record. In response, the railway department has ramped up transport capabilities. Accompanied by his daughter, Kim Jue, North Korean leader Kim Jongun paid a visit to the Ministry of National Defense on a significant army anniversary. Video footage of the visit aired on North Korean state television the following day, showcasing Kim Jong-un's joy as he interacted with a spirited military personnel amid cheers from the audience. The duo walked past an honor guard in the Ministry of National Defense's compound. As per Pyongyang's official version of history, this year commemorates 76th anniversary of the founding of North Korea's regular army. North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un has warned the world. He says the country will not hesitate to use all of its military power to wipe out enemies if any of them used force against them. This was reported by the state media when North Korean leader marked the anniversary of the founding of its military. According to US government weather forecaster, the LA the La Nina weather pattern, characterized by unusually cold temperatures in the Pacific Ocean, could emerge in the second half of 2024. This comes after a strong El Nino year. The pattern typically brings higher precipitation to Australia, Southeast Asia and India, and drier weather to grain and oilseed producing regions of the Americas. In southwestern Iceland, a volcano system has erupted, marking its third eruption since December. The eruption sprayed streams of lava up to 260 feet into the air. Moreover, a state of emergency has been triggered as thousands of households lost heating in the middle of winter. The fiery display of bright orange lava could be seen from the capital Reykjavik, which is situated about 50 kilometers away from the eruption. In the United States, heavy snow has shut down parts of major interstates in the northern Arizona, while low-lying clouds delayed more than 100 flights in Phoenix. This comes after severe weather that previously battered California exited the state, leaving a muddy mess in its wake. In the wake of George Floyd's tragic death at the hands of police in May 2020, individuals from across the globe have traveled to the location of his passing in Minneapolis. There, they left behind a plethora of tributes, including signs, paintings, and poetry, serving as poignant memorials to Floyd and fueling the ongoing fight against systematic racism. Now, for the first time outside of Minnesota, a collection of these heartfelt artifacts is on public display, offering viewers the opportunity to immerse themselves in the protest art and to grieve Floyd's loss and other Black Americans killed by the police. Las Vegas's newest star attraction, the $2.3 billion Sphere, it is wowing football fans with a variety of Super Bowl-themed content. As Sunday's showpiece game between the San Francisco 49ers and Kansas City Chiefs approaches, the giant glowing orb has been displaying the helmets of both teams, graphics about the match-up and a countdown clock to kick off on its fully programmable LED exterior known as the Exosphere. According to an unpublished UN report, North Korea has conducted dozens of cyber attacks that generated nearly $3 billion for its nuclear weapons program. Despite sanctions, North Korea chose to advance its nuclear arsenal and missile capabilities and even deployed a tactical nuclear attack submarine. Hacking groups affiliated with Pyongyang's Reconnaissance General Bureau persisted in cyber attacks targeting defense firms and sharing resources. These findings were reported by independent sanctions monitors to the Security Council Committee. Concerns over student data misuse in Denmark have led the Data Protection Authority to halt schools from sending data to Google via Chromebooks and Google Workspace. The authority has issued an injunction to 53 municipalities following a complaint 4 years ago by activist Jesper Grargart. The agency found the current data transfer methods lacked a legal basis for all purposes. However, Google has not yet responded to the order. Municipalities must comply by March 1st and fully align data practices by August 1st. Digital World Acquisition Corp., the company that has agreed to take former US President Donald Trump's social media platform public, is nearing a $50 million financing deal. Sources suggest that the deal, which could be announced in the next few days, will help fund the company while it tries to complete its merger with Trump Media and Technology Group, or TMTG, which is the owner of social media platform Truth Social. The company has faced several challenges in its bid to complete the deal. It has been the target of investigation by the United States Department of Justice and Securities and Exchange Commission, leading to a total overhaul of its top management. Bank of America has brought in $10.5 billion in deposits and investments in the last 4 years after making deals with companies to provide financial services to their employees. More than 450 corporate and commercial clients have enrolled in BOFA's employee benefits and investing program since it was introduced in 2020. 50 more companies are expected to join by mid-year. Of the 4 million workers who can access BOFA bank accounts and rewards programs through their employers, 20% have tapped the services so far. It has attracted $4 billion in deposits and $6.5 billion in client investment accounts via the program.